It's the problem with DSLRs and a lot of consumer camcorders is that, for starters, you haven't got the right inputs to be able to get these kind of mics inputting into the camera, and also you haven't got the ability to control the levels very well. So this is an example where a small mixer has been hooked up and connected using a stereo unbalanced cable that goes into a mini jack, and that allows me to run via the XLR. I've got a professional shotgun mic, so I'm running into the mixer. And what I'm doing on here is, if I go into the audio settings, I've actually got you can see manual gain, and the gain is on the lowest setting it can be, but I'm using the gain on here to get levels through, and you can see that those levels are coming through on there. Unfortunately, because this doesn't have a headphone out, it means that I can't monitor the return, which is not ideal. But as a test in advance, if I check that everything's working just before rolling, then that's as good as you can kind of get with a DSLR setup. But what you're doing is, by turning the gain right down on here, you're getting the noise floor really low, and then because this has got really high quality preamps on the mixer, if I then use full gain on the mixer, I'm increasing my audio levels and audio input without raising the noise floor back up. So that is, in terms of getting audio that's synced to your track, that's the best quality that you can get. It's not quite as good as if this mixer was running straight into a high quality recorder, but it's as good as you can get going straight into a digital SLR. And this would work going into a handy cam like you've got there as well, to a degree. The other way that people will record sound for DSLR that's an improvement on the built-in sound would be to use portable recorders similar to this with XLR inputs. And so using a clap for sync at the beginning, you can then sync it up in post. So you're recording dual system audio, so you're going to separate. So you've got the guide track built into the camera, and then you're recording through on that, and that's got quite good preamps built in, and you get nice clean quality audio going into that. So you can run, like, say, a radio mic and a boom mic straight into that. The other options for DSLR, which is a step down, is to actually, instead of just using the built-in mic, you can get something like the Sennheiser MK400, which is a directional mic. The built-in mics on these cameras are omnidirectional, so you might be getting the background of, say, birds and so on more than the actual dialogue of the interviewee. Whereas with this, you're selecting the direction that you're working within. The limitation of that is the fact that you see this, the fact that you've got the mini jack going straight in there, and all of your gain is being controlled automatically or manually via the actual camera, and the system noise on that is quite high, so you get quite high noise floor. So that's why this solution, where you actually run through the mixer, that brings the noise floor down. Okay. And when you're working with mics like we've got here, we have at Rycote, we do a variety of different solutions that go over the mic to protect it against wind noise. And we do undercovers and overcovers. And the idea is that you actually if you take the mic out of a clip like this, you can just stick the mic straight onto here, and then you can either, if you're happy for it to be on the outside and be seen, then that can go over the top of the mic, so removing this clip over the top, and that protects it from wind. Or if you get some of this soft undercover material, this is acoustically transparent, so it's not blocking any of the audio. that goes over the top. So you could slot, for example, if this was hidden in there, you'd stick that to my shirt and then put that over, and it minimises clothes rustle. Okay, and then what I sometimes do, probably you can't, I sometimes use one of these stickies, say under there, with the mic on top, and then another sticky, as long as it's not blocking the ports too much, and that sticks the t-shirt or whatever clothing onto the mic and stops it from moving around too much, so you don't get clothes rustle because it's fixed in place. So there's lots of like different techniques. If you want to conceal the mic, you want to try and fix the clothing so it doesn't move, because you will always get, even with something like that, which will minimise the noise, you will always get a certain amount of rustle. So by stopping the cable when you move, ideally you'd want, like say, a pigtail loop on here and have that stuck down. So minimising cable noise and clothes rustle is the sort of name of the game with that. And if you don't have to hide it, it makes it easier, obviously. But